Hello and welcome back. As you can tell, I got a little green on today. Today's St. Patrick's Day. Got a little bit of Irish blood in me, so I got to say, may the luck of the Irish be with you. You think since I got some Irish blood, I'd have a closet full of green, right? No, this is it. I got a sweatshirt and a hat. That's it. Anyhow, so let's get that out of the way. So today we're talking about guilt, specifically money or wealth guilt. It can come when we start making significantly more money. I can give you a little story about that here in a second, but anyhow, what are some of the reasons we have guilt about wealth and income? Is because we don't feel worthy. We don't think we really deserve anything more, so we'll step things down. It happens when we negotiate salary for a job. I remember I went from one aerospace company to another. A friend of mine helped me network into that new company, and I got the job. And when they told me what they were offering for a salary, I didn't balk at all. I didn't say a word. I was floored. It was significantly more than what I had been making. So I went, sure. Then the friend that helped me find the people that I could interview with, she said, well, you did negotiate, didn't you? I went, no, I that was more than I expected, so I just stayed there. I could have probably made close to twice as much as they offered if I negotiated. So the thing is, we feel bad about asking for more money, even though it was available and they were willing to give it to you. And when we sell something, even garage sales. I mean, I remember having garage sales and thinking like, this thing's only worth this amount. And when people come to garage sales, they're always trying to talk you down, even if it's a penny they want for free. But yeah, we just learn these things about money that we should not ask for much. That's in American culture. I don't know about others. I know other cultures tend to haggle and negotiate more than we do on average. So where does this come from? Well, it's other people's beliefs, like our parents. You grow up and your parents tell you not to, make too much money now. We don't want to, stand out, or you don't want to be greedy. The media, the media and movies and TV have always talked about, well, let's see here. If you watch like the old Batman TV show or some other things, who's the villain a lot? It's the wealthy guy. It's like wealthy people are bad. They think that either they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, or that they stole it somehow by being greedy. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but that's not necessarily the case. The church, of all places, the church sometimes teaches us that poverty is piety. Find that in the Bible. Good luck with that. But even when they preach that, they hand around the plate and expect you to tithe quite a bit, right? I'm not putting churches down. I'm just saying sometimes some pastors have it backwards. Because here's the thing, if you love your church and you make a lot of money, you're probably given a lot of money to the church. And jealousy, I've seen that. I've had it. People get really jealous when someone goes out and makes significantly a lot more money than you do, and you just, you kind of look down your nose at them that, what do they think? Why are they worth that amount of money? Like, for instance, years ago, I remember my wife got another job. Speaking of transferring to another company, she was making a lot of money at the time. It was nice. And I remember someone in her life just basically, when she told him how much she was making, he said, no one is worth that amount. And it just kind of messed with my head, thinking like, if you're trying to, buy a house and do other things, make all the money you can. What's wrong with that? But yeah, it's jealousy can do bad things to people, ruin relationships too. Let's see here. I'm reading off my paper here. Just give me a second. So let me counter some of that. So, for instance, let's talk about quotes from the Bible. Excuse me, verses that people will quote to you. Like, for instance, you may have heard a camel has a better chance of getting through the eye of a needle than a rich man has getting into heaven, or rich woman. Number one, make sure if you're going to repeat that quote, find it in the Bible. Read the context, that whole chapter, that whole section, to find out who was talking and what was that about. It was basically not to all men, all humans, all women and men. It was to one person. And because they weren't using their wealth right, they weren't willing to give it up. They were more worshiping their wealth than they were Jesus. Or I can't remember the exact quote. But anyhow, that wasn't meant for everybody. In other words, if you get wealthy, you can still go to heaven. The richest people in the world can still go to heaven. Wealth does not keep you out of heaven. It's how you make that wealth and what you do with that wealth. Here's another one, and this is misquoted all the time. Money is the root of all evil. Okay, number one, there's some words left out of that sentence. Okay. What that is about is let me back up a little bit. Not all evil is done because of money. I'll give you an example from the first book in the Bible. When Adam and Eve were offered the apple of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, it was offered by a serpent, which supposedly represents Satan. So they were going against God and went with Satan. And he was basically telling them that they can be gods too. Okay. That transaction had no money involved whatsoever. Even though there's gold in the Garden of Eden, gold in the Garden of Eden. I've been talking a lot today. My mouth is worn out. Sorry. Evil can be done without money being involved. So that is not a good quote. So the Bible does have warnings about wealth, and it has several positive stories about wealth. It doesn't say that wealth is bad. It's how you use your wealth and what you use it for and how you got it. Okay? If you did it in sinful ways, it's not good wealth. So here's the deal. There's also positive stories in the Bible about wealthy people, and there's wealthy people who are held in high esteem in the Bible. One is Abraham. He's one of the first people in the Bible. He was in Genesis. And it says in there was a wealthy man, wealthy in gold, silver, and cattle. I may have that a little bit wrong. I didn't look it up before I came on camera today. But anyhow, he was wealthy, and he was held in high esteem in the Bible. The other one is Solomon, also a very wealthy man. He wasn't criticized, he wasn't put down, he wasn't said he was sinful, evil because he was wealthy. So, when someone starts quoting the Bible and basically telling you or anybody that they should not become wealthy or have high income because it's bad in the Bible, either come back with something you've learned to counter that or just ignore them because that's not the case. So anyhow, I'm no Bible scholar. However, if you want to learn more about what the Bible says about wealth, I'll put a link in this video or in the notes below for Myron Golden. He's one of my favorite Bible teachers. And he talks about how the Bible talks about wealth and money. So if you want more, there's more to go. And also make sure that you find these quotes in the Bible and read them in context so you understand what it really means. I'm losing my place here in my notes. Give me a second. Okay. I'm on the road today, so I don't have my mouse with me, so every time I touch the scratch pad, everything scrolls off the screen. Okay, let's talk about YouTube, for instance. That's where this video is. That's where we're on right now, you and I. We're on YouTube. I consider this a vehicle of passive income. And I really push on that. I really think we all should think about ways to get passive income for many reasons. I've talked about that in previous videos. There it goes. Lost my place again. So what happens when you try to do things when you don't have all your equipment with you? Okay, here we go. Don't touch anything, Don. Okay, no touching. I don't care how much getting back to YouTube, I don't care how much how much education you have, how much experience you have in your profession. You will never, ever help more people. Let's see, I'm talking about helping people, not making money, helping people impact positively other people in any of your professions than you can doing YouTube videos. Because once this gets rolling, more and more people will see your stuff, and that makes more people see your stuff, to watch your stuff. And you could be in the helping field doing great things, but you'll never help as many people as you can in a situation like this. Give you another story with my wife. She's in a helping field, and we had this conversation a few days ago. She helps a lot of people. She's really good at what she does. However, she's a human being, 24 hours in a day. She has limited time. She can't do this more than 24 hours a day. She can't even do it 24 hours a day. Also, it's a very taxing field, so her energy is limited. So the number of people she can help at any given time is limited. So is her income as a result, because she works primarily one-on-one with people in some groups, but that's limited. You can't, she's not set up in a Tony Robbins thing where she's talking to 1,000 people or thousands of people in a stadium. But it is limited. But if she could translate some of that in doing YouTube videos, she could help so many people. So YouTube is a great way to leverage your ability to teach, coach, and advise in this space, but for a very large audience. And it doesn't happen overnight, but you can do it. I'm not there yet. I'm still working on mine. But anyhow, I would do this whether I would get paid or anything anyhow, because I just enjoy what I do. Okay. So look at some of the people you follow and watch, you may subscribe to on YouTube. And look at their stats. You can see most of them fairly easily. You can look at a video and see how many views it's had. You can also look on their channel page, and I'll show you how many subscribers they have. Like in one of my other videos, I talked about this woman who was doing baking and cake decorations for different occasions. Excuse me a second. If you told me that someone who was doing what she does had that many followers, I go like, what? That's, to me, that I have no interest in that. And I figured that's just a niche thing, but she's got a ton. She's got millions, thousands and millions, depending on the video, of people that are watching and subscribing to her channel. So you may not consider that helping, but you may call it more entertaining. But she has a lot of people that she is really positively impacting by doing that. And so, yeah, look at their numbers. I mean, compared like the population of Los Angeles, more people watch her than the population of Los Angeles, California. It's mind-boggling. And you can do that too with whatever you would like to start sharing with the YouTubeosphere. Okay. And think about how your numbers will grow. You're helping more and more people. The more people that watch, subscribe, the more the algorithms will send out to other people that they think that I hate to anthropomorphize computer programs, but anyhow, with AI and everything, we're getting closer to that. The system will see other people that will like what you do, And if someone watches your video, they'll go, oh, well, you like that. You may like one of these other ones. And next time you get on YouTube, another one of my videos or whoever you're watching will show up and you'll watch that. So you start generating higher and higher numbers of subscribers, viewers, watch time, things like that. Okay, so let's get to the guilt part again. In this instance, how much does a YouTube watcher or viewer pay the person creating the video? Now, there are instances where you have paid subscriptions, things like that, though that's kind of a niche thing. But for the most part, when I watch all the videos I've been watching over the years, I have paid not one red cent. I have not taken out my wallet. I have not taken out my credit card. They pay zero, zilch, nada. So if you're feeling guilty about how much you're charging them, you're not making any money on your viewers. It's kind of a roundabout way of things working. The only thing they pay is their time and attention. Their attention to watching your video and their time for watching your video, but they're not paying you money. So why would you feel guilty about that? You're actually helping people or, entertaining them, whatever. Depending on what you do, you could be just giving them, a time away from their life, a break. So where does the money come from? It's just like television, very similar to television. It's advertising. YouTube makes their money on advertisers, and advertisers advertise on YouTube videos. So when your content or your audience lines up with the advertiser's audience, just like on TV, there's times I'll watch a program and I'll ask my wife, it's like, wow, this tells me a lot about the demographics of the people watching this program, and I'm looking at what they're advertising, like, why am I watching it? Because none of the advertisements lined up with me at all. That's another story over a couple Irish beers. Anyhow, so what happens over time, you have to reach a certain threshold of subscribers, of views, things like that. YouTube needs to know that you're actually getting people's attention, okay? When you get that level, you can turn on monetization. So what happens when you get monetized? Well, advertisers get lined up with your videos, and depending how long it is how many commercials are on there. Just like on TV, if you have a little half-hour sitcom, you may see X number, and if you have an hour long, you'll see more. And it seems like over time, there's more and more commercials in a break. It's like, wow, program's almost over, and they haven't come back to the program yet. But anyhow, it works in a very similar fashion. But the thing is that you grow more. So let me back up a little bit. It's just like when you watch a sitcom on TV, okay? So you get to an end of a scene, and then it breaks, and there's a commercial for cars, or, excuse me. If I was an editor, I'd edit that out, but you got to hear me sneeze. Anyhow, so when it comes to an end of a scene, a commercial will come in, or two, or three, or four, or how many they try to squeeze in there. And then when the commercials are over, they come back to the next scene in the program, or on the news. They do one segment or one story, they break commercial and come back to another story. You watch the news and they're always going like, we only have 10 more seconds, so if you can squeeze this in real quick, we have to go to the commercial, or we got to pay the bills, whatever they say. Okay, same concept. So what they're trying to do is these advertisers are trying to sell to the eyeballs that are watching your content. Okay, so advertisers pay YouTube to get their message in front of your audience. YouTube shares that revenue with you when you get monetized. What the formulas are, I don't know. But I can tell you this, what I do know, and I don't know what the ratio is, whatever YouTube makes on the advertisements on your videos, you get the lion's share of that. In other words, you get more than 50% of it. I mean, if you think about all the videos that you can potentially watch that's been stored over the years since YouTube's been around, That's a lot of money, even if they were making a penny per commercial. Seriously, it's just mind-boggling. So why feel guilty about that? You're helping your audience. You're helping the advertisers because you're giving them an audience they can market to or advertise to, and you're not making any direct money from anybody. You're making your money from YouTube. So I don't think there's any way you should feel guilty about that, unless of course you just feel money, making money is sinful. That's a whole different thing. But here's the thing is you get bigger and bigger. Okay, just like that woman I told you about that does the cake decorating. Because if her numbers are so big, this probably happens to her, and she would never know about it. But anyhow, just like people that want to advertise on the Super Bowl, they compete. I don't know if they've gone over $1 billion yet, but these companies are willing to pay millions of dollars for a 30-second spot, even 15-second spot. I think it's like they've brought it down to that level to get in front of all the Super Bowl watchers' eyeballs. Same thing with your YouTube videos. They will compete, and they will compete as far as, okay, I'll give this more. I want to be able to have that time slot on Don's videos, and the other company can't make it. So guess what? You got a higher bidder, someone that's going to pay more for the amount of time they can go on your video, break your video up somewhere, hopefully in a good spot, put that their commercial on there. And so you're making more money. The better you get at this, the bigger your audience, the more money you're going to make. More people you're going to help, more money you're going to make. Are you making money off people you help? No. So don't feel guilty about that. Grow it. Help more people. Trust me, there's a lot of help that there's a lot of need for help, and there's a lot of people who can give that help. So let's go through YouTube and do that. So anyhow, so these advertisers get into a bidding war for the privilege of advertising on your video. How cool is that? I think that's pretty darn cool. So one last thing. So this form of passive income, there is really no direct effort on your behalf to get the money. You are not trading time for money like a job. You're not working 8 hours of trying to do videos and they pay you for your time. They're not paying you for anything. They're paying for you attracting eyeballs so that advertisers can sell to them. It's what they call sleep money. Sleep money. In other words, you can look at your phone, look at the numbers, the number of the number of subscribers, the number of hours and watches on your videos. Take a picture of that. Next morning, get up and look at it, and you'll see it's gone up. Why? Because YouTube is everywhere, all the way around the world. Sure, there are some people who can't get it because they're in an impoverished area, or they're impoverished, they can't get it on the internet. There's certain countries and certain cultures that won't allow it, but for the most part, you're talking to the world. You're not talking to your community. You're not talking to your neighborhood. You're not talking just to your state. You're not talking to your country. You're not talking to your hemisphere. You're talking to everybody. So there's a lot of potential viewers or eyeballs to go watch your videos. So there's new people that'll be watching your videos 7x24, because people, like when you're asleep in your country on the other side of the world, people are just getting up and getting on YouTube and looking for things, and they're going to be watching your stuff, okay? So as those numbers grow, your income continues even while you're sleeping or on vacation. So if you want to take a week off or 2 weeks off from working on your videos, people are still on YouTube. If you got a job, you may get paid vacation time, but you're not working. So that income isn't going to be coming in. If you have vacation for 3 days and you take 5 days off, there's 2 days you don't get paid for. This, you don't have to work on it, and money's coming in because people are still watching your videos. And like I said, Myron Golden, when he first started out, you can go on his channel and go all the way back to his first videos. I mean, his production now is really up there. He's got a studio, he's got high-tech equipment, he's got people who do editing and all that kind of stuff. They'll take slices out of his videos and make shorts out of it, all sorts of things. He's on all the social media now. I mean, he's everywhere. But he didn't start out like that. When he started out, he was in, looked like it was a lobby of a hotel, and he had a flip chart and a marker, and he's writing things on the board, and there's someone holding the camera for him. So it's him and someone holding the camera. We all start out at that level, right? So anyhow, don't worry about, you know, if you got clunky equipment, you got an old iPhone, whatever. And like me, I'm on the road right now. You're not in a studio. I'm in a hotel room right now. Anyhow, so get started and stay started. But anyhow, having money coming to you when you're sleeping or on vacation is pretty cool, huh? I think so. Let's see here, let me repeat myself here. Just think, you could be helping more people in one day than most people do in a year of their profession, their job. In a month, a year, a lifetime, a whole career, a lifetime. You could be making more than they are, because what you're doing is you are expanding, you are leveraging, you are scaling your ability to reach people, and you're doing it for free. Anyhow, how can you feel guilty about that? So that's all for now. Please check out my other videos. Also, if you want to learn more about the biblical teachings on money and wealth, check out Myron's channel. Like I said, I'll have it at the end here, or if I don't put it in here, I may just put it in the notes down below. But anyhow, if you're interested in the biblical teachings on that, I highly recommend him. He's like the best I've seen. Anyhow, see you on the next video. Until then, take care.